What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Alright, we're coming back to My Chemical Romance. Yes, indeed, My Chemical Romance fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-boobidi bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Charles B., and this is actually one of Charles B.'s 3 prioritized requests for the month of November for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Charles. Hope you enjoy the show, man. Charles wanted to see me react to this. It is My Chemical Romance with a song called The Foundations of Decay. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. As always, Charles has provided an intro for me to read to you guys, so here we go. So far, from My Chemical Romance, you have reacted to 2 of their big hits, Helena and Welcome to the Black Parade, which were released in 2004 and 2006, respectively. On March 22nd, 2013, after 12 years of huge influence and success on the rock scene, My Chemical Romance suddenly announced their breakup. Okay? But 6 years later, on October 31st, 2019, My Chemical Romance announced they would do a reunion show. Smart. Tactical. Okay. Yeah, all right. A reunion show in December of that same year. It only took, yeah, surprise, surprise, it only took 4 minutes for that show to sell out. Shocking. This was meant to launch a worldwide reunion tour in 2020. That was all cut short, though, due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, boy, you're not kidding. The worldwide tour was delayed to 2021, and then again to May 16, 2022. A few days before their tour was about to officially start after the multi-year delays, on May 12, 2022, My Chemical Romance, out of nowhere with no prior announcement, dropped a new single, The Foundations of Decay, which is what you will be reacting to. As of right now, this is My Chemical Romance's latest release. Okay, I have some thoughts about the strategy. I'll leave that to the end. I'll leave that for review, but I have some thoughts on that. Anyway, so yeah, I guess we're gonna do this reaction now. This was posted by My Chemical Romance, okay? And the video has 9.2 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. A link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. My Chemical Romance, The Foundations of Decay. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this!
I like the chordal progression in the main riff in the verses. It's really hanging around the 5. Like, okay, you start up on the root, right? You go down to the 6, the minor 6, then you go down to the 4, and then you briefly hit the 5, back up to the 6, hanging around that 5, just barely touching on it, back down to the 4, down to the 3, the minor 3, and then resolve to the 5th, and then back up to the root again. I like that. It gives it a sense of anticipation because you can feel it, right? You can feel it hanging around that 5th, and it keeps bouncing around it. Like, here's the 5th, and it keeps going around and around. Then it just kind of touches it before it moves back and around and around and around and under, and then boom, and then it grabs it finally before it resolves back up to the root. There's always that sense of anticipation of, I wonder if, and this is how it works, I wonder if this next chord is going to be the 5th. I wonder if this next chord is going to be where we resolve. It doesn't. It just keeps bouncing around and around and around, giving you that sense of anticipation. Very smart songwriting. They understand how they can use their chordal selection to put the listeners on the edges of their seats. It's smart. It's very, very smart. The tempo is a little slower than what I usually like. It is. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm not thrilled about the tempo and the pacing, but I get it. I understand. I hate to say this, but it's needed. It's absolutely needed. They could not play this song at a faster tempo. It wouldn't make sense. The chorus. I'm digging the chorus. The chorus is a lot simpler. The chorus is a lot more straight ahead than the verses are, but I like the feel, and I like the energy, and I like the drive of the choruses more than the verses. But the verses have that anticipation factor. I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. I like both. I'm not sure which one I like better. Anyway, let's keep going for right now.
Was there the day the towers fell, and so he wandered down the road, and we would all build towers of our own, only to watch the roots corrode. But it's much too late. You're in the race, so oppressed. And still you can't take it anymore. Let our bodies hearts twisted. Let our blood to fight down in pain.
Oh, we're down to the 5th. Okay. Yeah. I like it. No. Mm-mm. No. No. No.
No.
We cannot pretend like that awesomeness did not just happen. We're going to go back and we're going to listen to that entire breakdown section again. Nope. Nope. I don't care. Hey, it's my show. If we're going to go back, we're going to go back. Look. Number one, I wasn't expecting that. That's the first thing. I was not expecting a heavy breakdown with that jun-jun, jun-jun, jun-jun. I wasn't expecting that, number one. Number two, not only was I not expecting it, they pulled it off so well. Like that was like, and I know there are going to be metal purists who are going to want to crucify me for saying this. Guys, I'm sorry. That was metal. That was absolutely metal. That was not hard rock. That was not new rock. No. That breakdown section was metal. Plain and simple. That was amazing. We are definitely listening to that again right now. Nope, part of that. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, I love the weight. I love that rest. 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. That feels good. The vocals are working too. Man. Oh, wow. I want to go back and listen to that again. I really do. Should I? No. I'll listen to it again on my own time. But I really, guys, I really want to go back and hear that part again. I really do. Wow. So unexpected. And so well executed. I love it when bands throw little surprises like that. And they put things into their songs that you really don't expect. And you never see coming from a mile away, but they pull it off. Now look, I've heard plenty of bands try to do things like this, where they'll do something completely unexpected, something completely out of the ordinary for them. And they try, and God bless them for trying. You know, I appreciate the effort, but the execution, it just doesn't work. You know, whether because they don't know how to do it, or they have no experience doing it, or it's just sloppy. It isn't executed well. You know, I've heard it happen a lot of times from a lot of bands. And like I said, God bless them for trying, but sometimes it's just better not to do it because it can and has ended up ruining what could have been some really good songs or even great songs. So it's always kind of a crapshoot when you have the band do something out of the ordinary. But every once in a while, you'll find a band like this that not only are they doing something outside the box, outside the norm, something they don't normally do, but they pull it off so well. Seamless. Absolutely seamless. It didn't sound, here's the thing, it didn't sound awkward at all. It sounds like they've been doing that for decades. Getting that thick, heavy, crunchy tone that, and with just the bare minimum of needed notes, just 2/16 notes, rest, you know? So it'd be 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a, yeah, it's seriously 1 and 3 and 1 and rest the rest of the way through. It's so sparse. It's so stripped down to just what is needed. Now, could they have just done downbeats? Could they have just done 1, 3, 1? Could they have done that? They could have, but having the 2/16, I think really made it sound chunkier. It made it sound fuller. I dug it. I like it. I really like it, and it was nicely executed. And the vocals, I have no idea what he's saying. I have no idea what he's singing, but how he sang it, the vocal style that he used in that breakdown section, very appropriate, very fitting for that style. And man, great adjustment on the fly. Great adjustment on the fly. Let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. That little double time field section in there at the end. Nice.
To lay in the foundations of decay.
Oh, flat 2-1, flat 2-1, flat 2-1. I like that. Down, down, bow down. Let's see how they end. Pulling, 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 pulling. Yeah, staggered exits. Okay. That works. That works. Actually, that ending actually makes perfect sense. Because of what they were doing. They weren't sustaining a chord necessarily. They were just creating background noise. And then pulling voices out, just pulling voices out until they were left with nothing, stripping it away. Smart, good move on their part. Wow, man. Not at all what I was expecting. Not at all what I was expecting. Okay. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was My Chemical Romance with the Foundations of Decay. This was a request from Charles B., and this was actually one of Charles B.'s 3 prioritized requests for the month of November for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, Charles. Hope you enjoyed the show, man. There really isn't a whole lot to talk about, if I'm being honest with you. The song is pretty straightforward. But there's a couple of things. There's definitely a couple of things I want to discuss, and let's just get to it. What do you say? Starting off with the score on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that an 8.6. Yep, 8.6. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Out of the 3 songs that I have done for My Chemical Romance, I can say without hesitation, and I don't even need to think about this. This is my favorite song out of the 3, without question. I dug this tune. I dug it more than the other 2. Don't get me wrong, I like the other 2. I had no issue with them. I had no problem with them. But this one hit home with me without question. A lot of it, playing it simple, had to do with feel and energy and drive. The verses. I loved how they kept floating around that 5, man. They did. Between the 6 and the 4, and down to the 3 and then back to the 5. They just kept moving around the 5, just kept teasing the listener until they would eventually hit that 5 before resolving back up to the root again. I think that was really smart. I think that's a really, really smart way for songwriters to get the listeners to, get that sense of anticipation, have them riding the edges of their seats. You know what I mean? Smart songwriting, very, very intelligent songwriting. Complex? No. Very simple from a complexity standpoint. We are literally talking about playing around with a grand total of 5 chords. The root, obviously, the 5th, which is the target, and then we have the 6, the minor 6, and the 4, and the 3. The 3 only hit once, but during the course of the entire progression. And the 7, so it's a total of 6 chords. I mean, it's not a complex thing. It really isn't. It's not like they're playing some crazy, out there chords, or the progression is really weird or anything like that. No, it's not that. It all makes sense. It absolutely all makes sense. It all sounds good. It all feels good. It just develops that sense of anticipation, which is really, really cool. The choruses, yes. Loved the choruses. Now, the reason I love the choruses was for the exact opposite reason that I liked the verses. The choruses are extremely straight ahead, downright predictable. 6 to the 7 to the 5 to the root. That's all it is. That's literally all it is. 6, 7, 5 root. I mean, it doesn't get much simpler than that. But the energy and the drive kicked up from where we were in the verses, both from a dynamic standpoint and from an intensity standpoint and from a total standpoint. It made a big difference between where the verse was and where the chorus was. Plus, we had that great pre-chorus that kind of set it up, which was really well done as well. No, I loved the choruses. Now, having said that, I think you all know what I'm going to say next. My favorite part of the song was that breakdown section. Oh, man. Look, I understand My Chemical Romance is not a metal band. I understand that. I absolutely get that. Having said that, though, that middle section, that breakdown section, I'm sorry. In my opinion, that was metal. That was absolutely metal. Getting those 16th note, 2 16th note chun-chungs. Getting those chun-chungs. And then rest for a whole beat and a half. A whole dotted quarter note worth of rest in between. So you had the 2 16ths, a whole quarter note, a whole dotted quarter note worth of rest time, a whole beat and a half. And then on 3, you got the next chun-chun. And then on the next measure, you only got 1 inch, just the first 2 16ths. And then you had 3.5 beats of rest afterwards. That was great. I loved it. I thought that was really funny. It felt good. It felt good. Not funny in a ha-ha way. I meant to say fun. It was a fun thing to hear. Just that heaviness, that jun-jun, rest, jun-jun, rest, jun-jun, 2, 3, 4, jun-jun, rest, jun-jun, rest, jun-jun, 2, 3, before. Man, that felt good. Man, that felt good. I loved it. That was so freaking heavy. Plus, with the guitar tones that they were using, nice, thick, crunchy guitar tone, not muddy, not so thick that it got muddy and you couldn't hear, the attacks, but I mean, every attack was still there. It was still articulated. It was still clear as day, which I really appreciated, but it still had that thick tone though. Really nice, rib cracking tone. Drumming thing right in with the guitar playing there. Bass, I couldn't really hear the bass all that well in the mix. That's very typical, but I can only assume that he was locked in because I never heard him stick out like a sore thumb. Now that whole section. And then on top of it, the vocals. Now, I have no idea what he was singing. I have no clue. And to be perfectly honest with you guys, I really don't care what he was singing about. All I know is he changed up his vocal style to be far more conducive to the style of musicianship that was happening in that breakdown section. He got a metal style of voicing that really, really fit. Man, it sounded good. I dug that middle section. That was without question my favorite part of the song. Now listen, it's a great tune. It is a great song, and without question, my absolute favorite song that I've heard so far from My Chemical Romance. This one's going to be tough to beat, if I'm being honest, guys. I don't know if My Chemical Romance is going to be able to top this one. This was a winner. This was an absolute winner. Great pick, Charles. I did want to talk about one thing. The whole so they had all the success, and then after 12 years of success, they suddenly announced their breakup, followed 6 years later by their reunion. Now, there's a lot of possibilities here, but there's a possibility that many people may not have thought of. Okay, I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm not a member of the band. I'm not a member of their management team. I don't have any inside information, or I don't have the inside scoop on what really happened. I'm sure there is a very strong possibility that what was written down by Charles is exactly what happened. After 12 years, they just said, we've had enough, or maybe they got sick of each other, or maybe they had a dispute within their management, or whatever. Whatever the reason was, they broke up. And then they just happened 6 years later. 6 years later, they just happened to say, you know what? We miss playing live. We miss the fans. We miss the crowds. We miss the money. Let's be honest. We miss the money. Let's do a reunion show. Let's do a reunion tour, and let's see what happens after that. Okay, that is a possibility. Now, there is another possibility. And there have been bands that have done this, and they have admitted that this was the plan all along. They planned to do a breakup around the idea that after X number of years, it could be 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever the case may be, with the plan, the whole reason for the breakup was this plan to reunite. Now, the reason for that, usually in a situation like that, a band will start to see their popularity decline. The band will start to see record sales decline. They'll start to see merch sales decline. And rather than be one of these many bands, 90% of bands that fizzle out and become has-beens or become, washed up or whatever, they saw the decline starting to happen. They saw the crest, and it's just starting to come down. And they said, you know what? We need to take a break before things get too bad and we become a joke. Let's retire for, let's break up. We'll have a final show, a final set of concerts, whatever, as our farewell tour, and we'll take a hiatus for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. It's got to be, honestly, I think 3 years is too short. It really should be at least 5 years. take a hiatus for at least 5 years, maybe a little more, and then we will miraculously, remember, this is all planned, we will miraculously come back together and we'll give our fans what they've been asking for years, and we'll have a reunion tour. And to coincide with that reunion tour, if the reunion tour is successful, we'll release a new album. Now, granted, I'm not saying this is what My Chemical Romance did. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there have been bands in the past who have taken this strategic approach to revitalize their career. And with a lot of these bands have had great success with it. Great success with it. And if that is the case, I'm not saying it is, but if that is the case and My Chemical Romance did that, good on them. Good on them. Listen, it's a business decision. It's a business strategy. How can we revitalize our careers? One of the best way to do it is with you could have twofold on this too. Well, technically you could have threefold on this. Well, actually, no, technically you could have fourfold on this. Or step one, announce your retirement, announce your breakup, and we're gonna do a series of last shows. That alone should be a clue. Usually when there's a breakup, it's sudden and it's quick and it's fast and there's no tour following. But we've all seen bands do it, haven't we? You know, we're gonna break up, we're not really enjoying the experience anymore, but before we break up, we're gonna do a final farewell tour. Yeah, right. Could you imagine breaking up with someone and having that breakup last for 6 months? No. When you break up, boom, it's over and done. So I'm sorry, I don't buy that story, number one. And then, step two, you wait some time and then you announce your reunion. There go ticket sales, there goes merch sales. You'll see a sudden boost in all of your old record sales. And then you have the tour and you sell out every single stadium you play in. Great, that's step two. Step three, phase three, you launch a new album. You record a new album. And then phase four, you go on tour to support the new album. So there's a 4-step process to help revitalize. And I've seen lots of bands do it, some with success, not all. Some had not just success, but great success. And if these guys, if My Chemical Romance just happens to be another one of those bands that actually did it and it's working for them, I'm not criticizing that. I'm applauding it. Good for them. Way to do a great job of revitalizing a career that was on the downward trend. I don't see a problem with it. I don't have an issue with it. I think it's very, very smart. I also think it's very, very funny. But listen, you do what you gotta do, right? Absolutely you do. So I got no issue with it. I think it's hysterical. Yeah, the pandemic though. I mean, right there, it says right here, it only took 4 minutes for that show to sell out when they did their reunion show, right? 4 minutes to sell out the entire show. I think that pretty much says everything right there. And then they were gonna launch a worldwide reunion tour in 2020. That unfortunately was cut short because of COVID. Boy, COVID destroyed live music. Absolutely destroyed it. Here we are in 2023 and we are just now starting to get full traction again. I mean, for about the last year, we've seen traction. We've seen movement in live shows, live play. Bands have been starting to go back on a more regular basis. But compared to where we were in 2019, we're just now, like seriously, 3 years later, we are just now starting to get back to that point of festivals every summer, every festival open again. But not every festival's come back. I don't know if some of these festivals ever will come back. But we're starting to see, we're almost back to full traction to where we were in 2019. Almost, not quite. I'm starting to get gigs again. I'm starting to get phone calls. I'm really happy about that. I get to start making an honest to God living again. And I'm really happy about that, guys. I am. I'm so glad live play is on the rebound. Fully on the rebound. But it took a while. Yeah, it sure did. Dropping the single, which is smart. Just wait. I would say, probably, if it hasn't come out already, The single was released in 2022. New album's probably out already. I'll bet you it already is. I don't know if it is or not. And if it isn't out yet, it's going to be very, very, very soon. Anyway, 8.6. I feel really good about that score. I thoroughly enjoyed the song, and yeah, I'm definitely going to listen to this again. My new favorite from My Chemical Romance, without question. It's going to be really curious if I do more reactions to My Chemical Romance. It's going to be really interesting to see if anything can top it. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, 8.6, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.